Hello friends, Koolio here and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, I'm going to share with you an English guide to Monster Hunter Riders. This is pretty much everything that you're going to need to know to comfortably navigate the game without having to know Japanese. And so if this video helps you guys out at all, a like would be super appreciated, and also make sure to hit the subscribe and notification button to stay up to date in the latest in mobile gaming. Okay, so here we are on the login screen. Now, the first thing I want to share with you guys is actually about data transfer. Now, I will be showing you guys how to set up your data transfer a little bit later in this video, but what I'm going to show you right now is where you need to go in order to then transfer the data once you have your password and your code all set up. So on the very bottom left is this little button right here. If you go ahead and tap on it, the very first thing you're going to do is tap on the very top one, then the top one again, and this is where you're going to enter in your password, the very top one, and then the bottom one will be your code, your specific code that the game gives you. Once you've gotten all that here, click the right button, and then you're pretty much good to go. The game will tell you that you're fine, and then you can now jump in and play the game. Now, this is something that is very useful for people that play on multiple devices. However, I have noticed that if you decide to play on multiple devices, you will have to manually go in and input that transfer code every single time you swap between two different devices. So I'm currently playing on my iPad. I also play on my phone. I had to go back in and actually put in the transfer code in order to then swap over to my iPad. So here we are in the game, and I think the most important things that we're going to go up is we're going to start off at the very top. Now, this very top one right here, this little green icon, this is the title for your character. You're going to be unlocking titles as you play through the game. It kind of gives a little bit of a cosmetic bonus for you up at the top left. As of right now, that's pretty much kind of all that we know about it. There isn't really anything else that you're going to need to know about the title itself. Next to that, obviously, you got your diamonds, you've got your gold coins, and then you have your Neko coins, which I will be getting into a little bit later because it's kind of a little bit of a bonus when you're doing summons. Below that, you have your level, you have your energy, which I have a total of 172 out of a max of 67. And then just to the bottom left of that, this is your current team's overall power. I have 14,277. Now, off to the far right, we can see there's kind of an exclamation icon next to, like, it looks like a little green book. If you go ahead and you tap on that, this is actually sort of a step-by-step progression achievement guide. As you play the game, you'll be able to complete specific quests that this game has to offer for you, and it'll give you step-by-step rewards. So nothing super special, just as you kind of play through the game, make sure to kind of go up there and gather the rewards that the game gives you. Okay, so just below that green book is sort of like a scroll icon, this one right here that I'm tapping next to. This is all of your options. There's really only like 4 buttons that you really need to know on this specific page. The first one is kind of up here at the top. This will give you your inventory, everything that you have currently on your character as of right now. The one above that is your overall account information, like your level, your ID, everything like that, what your current main hero is. And then besides that, there's really only a few more that I want to kind of point out to you guys. This first top left one right here, this is if you want to swap out your main character that's on your main screen. So if you want a different monster and a different rider, this is where you can kind of go through and pick which one you want displayed. So if I want to go ahead and pick this person, and then I want this specific monster, if I go ahead and hit OK, head back to my main screen, you will now see that my Monster Hunter rider and my monster have now changed. Now, heading back to the options icon, the one here down in the middle that I just clicked on, this is your gallery. This will give you all the information for all the different monster riders in the game and all of the different monsters. And so if you want to go and take a look at certain 3D models for certain monsters, you can. They look absolutely amazing. You can do the same thing for the riders as well. You can actually see their full 3D models as well as their 2D models, and you can go through and check out some of their different animations and voices and stuff like that. So the next thing I want to share with you guys is actually the options themselves, which is this far right button. Go ahead and click on that. Now, there's really only a few options on here that I'm really going to point out to you guys, and that's in this middle section right here. This top one and this middle one, this one refers to the overall resolution of your game. The one below that refers to your frame rate. So if you want the max settings, go ahead and crank those all the way up. Go ahead and hit OK, and now I am pushing at max settings, full 60 frames per second. Now, the last one I want to share with you guys is the data transfer. Now, I told you guys I was going to show you how to do this, but it's the one that's in this row right there in the center. So go ahead and click on that one. If you want to set it up, click on the top one and then go through the process of setting up your password and your code, and you'll be good to go to start doing data transfer. Now, heading back to the main menu, just below that icon, we have the notifications. This is where like all the updates, the maintenance, everything like that is going to be displayed. Below that is your gift box. Any kind of gifts that we get from the developers or simply by logging into the game will be displayed here for you to collect. The one below that, this is your achievement tab. This is where you're gonna be getting a ton of different rewards. This bottom button right here is the one to go ahead and just claim all of the rewards that are currently on the tab that you're looking at. So go ahead and claim all these rewards. And there we go. So pretty simple and easy to understand for that stuff. Now we're gonna get into the more nitty gritty of the actual gameplay by heading to the gameplay tab itself. Now, when you're looking at the gameplay tab, this is obviously the main storyline that you're playing through with different difficulties. I think it's like normal, hard, and very hard. So that's pretty easy, pretty simple to understand, but it's the 3 buttons down at the bottom that I want to explain to you guys. The green button down here on the far left, this is going to be your dailies. This is where you're going to get the special crystals that you need in order to level up your different riders. The one below that is the feed that you're going to need to level up your dragons. And then this is where you're going to get your gold coins that you need to basically buy pretty much any kind of resource in the game. Now, if I go ahead and click on this one for the crystals, it's going to show me up here at the top right. This section right here shows you how many tries, how many entries that you have for that specific day. So you can't go and you can get these special tickets that the game will give you that you can use to spend and get 1 entry per ticket that you use, or you can spend a total of 50 gems to get more entries into that specific area. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to kind of waste my my energy right there. Next is, if you see the red button, the kind of red numbers, that indicates the overall power that I'm going to need in order to defeat this specific level. It's just like a suggestion for what power your overall team is going to need. The number next to that is the total stamina cost it's going to cost you in order to jump in and play that specific level. Now that goes for all of the different ones here on the daily menu. Now the one just below that, the blue icon, this is all of your special events that are going on in the game. This one, this top one that we have right here that's got the different monsters on it, this is where you can kind of go through and play through this level by level. The higher up you get, the higher rarity of higher rarity monsters that you're able to collect. So the one that I'm currently getting ready to take down will grant me a 3-star monster for me to use for my team. So this is where you're going to be getting most of the monsters that you're going to need in the game. Now below that are special events that are currently going on. We have this one which allows you to obtain a free monster as you go through and complete it, getting special items that you can use to then exchange. And then the one below that is another one that you can go through. There's only a certain amount of days available for this one, but again, you can get special items that you can use to exchange for power-ups. You can exchange for new monsters and stuff, which I'll be going into a little bit later in this video. Then the final one I want to share with you guys is the bottom right, the red one. This is your story missions. Now, as you go through and you get specific characters, and as you play through the main story itself, you'll be able to unlock different story missions for specific characters. Now, as you play through each of these story missions, you'll be able to unlock specific materials used to enhance that specific hero, as well as you will obtain presents which you can use to increase your overall affinity with specific heroes to increase their overall stats, which I will be going into again a little bit later in this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and head on back to the main menu and head on over to this icon right here. Now this is going to be your power up icon. Pretty much everything that you're going to do to power up your specific riders and monsters will be found here on this tab. The top one is specifically to level up and limit break each of your heroes. So let's go ahead and just pick a random hero. We'll go ahead and go with her. Hit yes. Now it has all the monsters that are currently equipped onto her, and I can go and I can select one of the monsters if I want to, and then I can level them up by using, again, feed and gold coins to level up that specific monster. As soon as the monster gets to a specific level, you can see level 50 right here, all the levels past that are locked. You aren't able to progress further beyond that until you go through to the next tab and actually limit break that specific monster. You see right here, I have a certain amount of tokens. There's tokens for 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, or specific hero or specific riders or monster tokens that you can get to then go through and limit break these specific monsters and riders. So this one I have enough to limit break them up to level 54, which will then allow me to level up that monster to level 54. The same thing goes for riders. If I go ahead and take a look at the rider, I can level her up all the way to level 50. That's as far as I can go as of right now. I will have to go through and limit break her using, again, either specific tokens for that hero or specialized rarity tokens for 5 stars, 4 stars, everything like that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to share with you guys is the affinity system. So if you go ahead and click on that, and then let's say I want to pick one of my favorite heroes in the game, this one right here, I can use specific presents that you get through playing through those specialized story missions for individual characters that I can then go ahead and level up my affinity with that character, giving overall stat boost. So it's going to cost me 15 presents, but it will give me a little bit of a nice stat boost to pretty much everything that she currently has. So here we go. Thank you so much. There's the presents, there's the affinity that you can get with those specific characters, like your relationship with them. And then the final thing I want to share with you guys on this page, this is your expeditions page. This is where you can go up and you can set up teams to go and scout. Now, the cool thing is about going and setting up specific heroes is that you can get specific tokens for those specific heroes. So if you have like a 5-star, rather than having like go out and get duplicates for that specific character, you can send them on expeditions and be able to get tokens for that character, which you can then go and use them to limit break them. So I do think that is a pretty nice little kind of side thing that they've added, so you don't have to go and waste a bunch of summons or try to grind your way through getting a bunch of those tokens for characters. So now the next one I'm going to share with you guys is this cart icon. Now this is basically all of your shop. Now there's only a few things I actually want to share with you guys. All these ones up here, these are premium shops. This one right here, you can buy crystals. This one you can buy special packs. This one down below that, those are limited time packs that they have on. Now the two more important things I want to share with you guys is these two bottom ones right here, which relate to exchange items. So this one right here, if I wanted to, for the specific blue event, for that big blue monster, as I play through it, I'm going to be able to get specific items, which I can then use to exchange for 5, 4, 3-star versions of that monster. I can get feed. I can get a bunch of stuff that I can use to power up that specific monster or even other monsters that I have. And I actually do like exchange shops. I think that's kind of nice when there are certain events going on. The same thing for this one too. You can get specific items that you can use to exchange for a very rare monster if you want to. Now the one below that is the Neko coins. I'm going to call them that. Now, every time you do a single summon in the game, you get 20 Neko coins. Now you can use those Neko coins to obtain very specific monsters or specific items that you can use to power up your other monsters or other heroes. So if you really wanted to save them, you could save up to 2,000 of them and get a very, very rare monster in the game. So that's all the item shop stuff that I want to share with you guys. The last thing on our trip for the English guide is obviously the summoning banner. There really isn't a whole lot I can say right now, but there are 2 specific banners that the game unlocks for you. You have to be a certain point within the game to then be able to unlock these special banners. But other than that, this is fairly easy to understand. You've got your basic summon right here. You've got your special golden ticket summons. You've got your special or your basic silver summons, and then you have your basic bronze ones. Now you get those through doing certain achievements within the game. Some are easier to get than others. Some of them will give you higher rarity monster riders than others will. There you guys go. That is my Monster Hunters Rider full English guide. Hopefully this helped you guys out. And if it did, a like would be appreciated. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, guys. Thanks so much for watching. My name's Koolio, and I'll see you next time.